So my first exposure to it was a church retreat, and they were teaching swing dance, so I just ate it up, all the moves that they had, and by the end of that week, I knew as much as the instructors did, you know, like I just ate it up. Then years later, when I'm in college, a friend of mine in the dorm, he's like, "Hey Kenny, you want to go swing dancing in Ann Arbor?" And I'm like, "Okay, you know, I'll go. I've tried it before, but why swing dance?" And he's like, "There's women there." So the funny thing though is that Matt never came back. He didn't have a good time. And I came back each week pretty much for the rest of the time. So he never came back.
6, 7, 8. Rock. Okay. Okay.
When I was a high school student, I was very into music. When I came to college at MSU, I thought I probably was not going to do anything music related, because it's going to take up so much time, and I don't want my whole life just to be doing this one music thing. So I was at the club fair as participation, and then I heard jazz music, and I really love jazz music. I was in the jazz band, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And I'm with my roommate who I just met, you know, and like she thinks I'm a total nerd. But so I see in front of the tent, there's just some people, and they were dancing, but it just looked so amazing to me to see it for the first time. There's probably, you know, 3 or 4 couples going, but I just thought it was the coolest thing, even though, I mean, these people probably like were not exceptionally awesome dancers, but to me it just looked so awesome.
I have to give a prop to my friend Matt from Unit 41 for changing my life forever, because like my whole social life now is like swing dancers pretty much. You know, it's really been a positive transforming force in my life. I think you find like-minded people that you connect with. It's not so much the dance is what the dance is, but the swing culture I've found is really just friendly and accepting and fun and interesting people that I enjoy spending time with. But New York is where it all started, Harlem, for at least, you know, swing dance as we know it.
Swing dancing started in like the 1920s, 1930s. It went up until about the 50s, and rock and roll kind of took over. The swing dance revival happened in the 90s, and I think people were looking at this thing in the past and thinking, this is a pretty cool dance. You know, maybe we should try and learn this. And I think just that aspect of having a community of people come together to try and learn something from the past, I think that was something people thought it was very special, and they wanted to grow that community as much as they could. Like if you look at, there's a Gap commercial from the 90s for like these khaki pants, and that's I think where swing dancing first got really popular. I don't know why they chose swing dancing, but I remember people have comments and it was like, this is when I first saw swing dancing.
Swing dance is like a virus. It's all over. It's everywhere. So you go to South Korea, there's a swing dance community. You go to London, there's a thriving swing dance community. Israel, probably Belgium, you know, like it's everywhere. Everybody developed their own flavor, and that's great that there's a variety, that you travel to different cities internationally, and you see that. The internet has just like made swing go viral.
There's not a specific swing dance. You have your Lindy Hop, Charleston, East Coast for beginners, and then you have Balboa, shag, you know, solo dancing, blues. So there's all these types of dancing that fall into this umbrella of swing dancing. You have a lead and a follow, and one person leads, one person follows. Leads are typically men, follows are typically women, but there's great dancers that do both or do the opposite of what's typical. The connection aspect of swing dancing is very important with all social dances. The fact that there is not a set footwork that you're going to be doing, you're basically listening to the other partner, and typically it's just the leads that are, you know, doing the leading, but as followers get more experience too, they add to the dance. I would say first, once you learn the footwork, I think the most important thing is the connection.
So you go through stages. First stage is you know that you suck, and you feel at first overwhelmed. But someone says, hey, let me show you, let me dance with you, and people welcome you in. And then you feel accepted, and people start showing you things, you start getting it, you're encouraged, right? You keep coming back. 5 months later, you're the best person in the scene, at least in your head, because you know everything. And then reality sets in, and then you realize everybody has their own path that they're on. And you're on a different path that you're creating, and everybody learns at their own pace. So then you stop comparing yourself to other people, and you compare yourself to yourself. And you say, I've learned this in the last few months. And then when you get to a really advanced stage, you learn to listen to your follow as, you know, he or she is giving you input, and you can respond and have a conversation through your dance. So once you get to that point, I'd say you're in an advanced area.
Probably for the first couple months, first year maybe, it was mainly an excitement about discovering something new. Then it became refining it and trying to, dance more. As a person too, I noticed it hasn't affected me so much in recent years. When I first started, it was this new thing. I was at college as a freshman, kind of nervous. It really helps with confidence, and I've talked to some other people too. Swing dancing really did help our confidence as a person. It's kind of weird to think that it would, but for some reason something like moving your body, to music and expressing yourself, which we never thought it would have such a good impact on us, but it did.
People should try it. Anybody who hasn't done any swing dancing thinks, oh, that's what my grandparents did, and that's where they, do all these crazy aerials, and it's kind of nerdy. There's no type. There's no one person, that person swing dances. Everybody comes together for the common love of swing music and dancing. It's a dynamic that you can't replicate anywhere else. I'd say it can be daunting at first, and even if you have 2 left feet, you'll learn. I've taught people that sucked terribly, and over time they got it. Right? Everybody gets it eventually.